Rolling.
Remember, speak up when you do anything. Okay. Didn't mean that necessarily, but okay. Jed, you okay?
Would you like an agenda?
Jed? Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. My name's Dave Moore. I'm the chair for the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District. I'd like to call the Black Canyon City Water Improvement District Tuesday, July 25th, 2023 meeting to order. And our first order of business is roll call. Again, I'm Dave Moore, chair.
Jeremy Bruckner, member at large.
Go ahead, Jen.
Jed Carter, vice chair, acting secretary.
Dorothy Moore, treasurer.
And for management, we have Bob Hannes, who takes care of all of the operations, and Sarah Ravina, that takes care of all the office functions and accounting. And from the public,
Glenn, resident.
Glenn resident?
Carrie Kowalski. Did you say Karen?
Carrie
Carrie, K-E-R-R-Y?
correct?
And
Kowalski, K.
okay.
Yeah.
Glenn, what is your last?
Thurman,
Thurman, that's right.
Thurman.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
That's him there.
Dave McMahon. Ken Beck.
Beck?
Beck, B-E-G-G.
E-E.
Andrea Remus.
Lane Clayton.
Greg Watts.
Christina Roberts.
Hi, Tom, would you introduce yourself?
Tom Strezak.
Thank you, Tom.
Eva
All right.
first.
There you are.
I like my
Eva first. Thank you for attending. I didn't know if you were going to make it. Now you're hiding. All right. Thank you all again for attending. Agenda item number 2 is our customary reflection time. So we'll have a moment of silence here, please. Thank you very much. Agenda item 3 is our board member reports. Jeremy, do you have any reports?
I don't really have anything new to report.
No traffic on the,
Traffic still continues the same.
about what it was?
About what it was.
Okay. Dorothy, do you have anything? Jed, do you have any board reports?
Keep it first.
Okay. And the only thing I have are the postings of the April minutes that were posted to our website, the agenda for tonight's meeting, and a reminder on Robert's Rules of Order that we follow informally, that the chair has the floor at all times unless yielded to a member of the public, board, or management. That'll make the dictation of the minutes a lot easier without anybody over talking each other. So I'd appreciate that cooperation. Agenda item 4 is the approval of the May 23rd, 2023 regular board and budget and rate hearing meeting minutes. Everybody has a copy in their board packet. Are there any changes, errors, corrections? Jeremy's a no. Jed?
No, I didn't see anything.
No. And Jed, Dorothy, did you see anything
No.
that you wanted to report? I'd report a typo, but Sarah would get it. Okay, and I don't have anything as well.
I don't know, because you didn't say. Agenda 3.
Did I miss something, Jeremy?
Where it's annotated appointment,
The what?
it says appointed, but it says it's annotated as appointment, and
Oh, that-
July has been.
You have my copy. I knew I had a typo.
That's the one. I'm like,
You got that, Sarah? That one little correction? You might mark that Jeremy made the suggestion, not me. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the May 23rd regular board and budget and rate hearing minutes with that one typographical error corrected?
make a motion to approve.
Jeremy so moves. I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Jed?
He said it.
Aye.
I didn't hear you, sorry, sir. All right, motion carries unanimously. All right, agenda item number 5 is the treasurer's financial report for approval as of May 31st. We'll pause for a moment.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we have
You can sit there if you want to. This is too tight here for you.
Can you get your name? Sharon Mendesky. Oh, no.
You need to introduce yourself.
Me? Oh, Mary Hoadley, Upper Iowa Freya Watershed Partnership.
What was the last
Welcome,
name? Mary
Hoadley,
Hoadley.
Hoadley.
welcome, Mary.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, agenda item number 5, as I said, the treasurer's financial report for approval of May 31st and June 30th, 2 months. Dorothy, would you give us a recap, please?
Financial management report for approval as of May 31st, 2023. QuickBooks balances for all bank accounts. The total for all accounts, the beginning total is $512,469.02. The ending total is $537,270.58. That's a positive difference of $24,801.56. Also, 2 monthly cash management reports are attached showing actual total receipts deposited all sources in May, $52,625.14. And there was general cash account entry, avoided check number 20781, that was a positive of $324.15. Then there's less the monthly scanner fee of $45, the Bank of the West merchant fee of $224.89. Actual total disbursements for the month in May of $27,877.84. So the total all accounts balance with above reconciliation is $24,801.56. The May billing total was $45,483.31. The May gallonage is 3,951,000 gallons. The previous month was 3,957,000 gallons. The May 2022 comparison was 5,095,000 gallons. Total for the fiscal year 2022 to 2023 is 47,680,000 gallons for 11 months. The previous 2021-2022 comparison was 51,256,000 gallons for 11 months. The financials include QuickBooks invoices 3285 to 3317 and enhanced audits number 2806 through 2900, when the accounts receivable in both enhanced and QuickBooks balancing at $24,534.58. The credit and debit card payments, a total of 88 transactions were processed, batch number 250 to 270. However, 270 did not clear until June 1st. So the 55 debits and 33 credits, the total process as of May 31st was $7,654.95. Review of all audit adjustments was done, delinquent and penalty fees posted, final reads, refund to security deposits, rereads, correction, turn-ons. No impact fees were processed in May. Attached to the monthly general journal entries for approval, respectfully submitted, Sarah Rabina, Management, and Dorothy Moore, Treasurer.
Thank you, Dorothy.
So then, financial management report for approval as of June 30, 2023. Just a second. QuickBooks balances for all bank accounts, total on the accounts. The beginning total is $537,270.58. The ending total, $588,692.26. That's a positive difference of $51,421.68. Also, 2 monthly cash management reports are attached showing the actual total receipts deposited at all sources in June, $50,578.64. And general journal entries, there was a stop payment on check 220802, so that's positive of $15,936.57. Then there's less, the monthly scanner fee of $45, the Bank of the West merchant fee $238.89, a return check and fee of $127, and the actual total disbursements for the month in June was $14,682.64. So the total all accounts balancing with the above reconciliation was $51,421.68. The June billing total was $52,417.47. The June gallonage is 5,250,000 gallons. The previous month was 3,951,000 gallons. The June 2020 comparison was 6,070,000 gallons. The total for the fiscal year 2022-2023 is 52,895,000 gallons for 12 months. The previous 2021-2022 comparison was 57,326,000 gallons for 12 months. The financials include QuickBook invoices 3318 to 3330, anyway, 4 threes, and enhanced audits number 2901 through 2987, with the accounts receivable in both enhanced and QuickBooks balancing at $31,444.11. Credit and debit card payments, there was a total of 85 transactions processed. Batch number 271 to 292. That's 40 debits and 45 credits. Total process $6,999.84. Review of all audit adjustments was done, delinquent and penalty fees posted, final reads, refunds of security deposits, rereads, correction, turn on, turn offs. There was one impact fee processed in June on audit number 2963 on account 115, and that was $2,500. Attached are the monthly general journals for approval, respectfully submitted to Ravenna Management and Dr. Moore Treasurer.
Thanks, Dorothy. Appreciate that.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board on the two financial management reports as submitted?
I have no questions.
You should. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the financial management reports for approval as of 5/31 and 6/30/2023?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial management report for 5/31/2023 and 6/30/2023.
Okay, may I have a second?
I'll second.
Jeff Carter seconds, Jeremy moves, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 6. Bob, you're up.
Okay,
Bob,
have the management operations report for May 19th through July 22nd. We had one turn on, two turn offs, one meter valve box replacement, 4 main line service line brakes repairs, 6 well booster pump service repairs and site maintenance, 2 meter rereads and final reads, 6 pressure conditions, and 6 customer services or other. So the turn on was at 34380 Choya Lane. It's a new customer. We had 2 turn offs. One was at 34831 Surprise, and the other one was at 34465 K Field. New meter installed at 19030 Slayton Drive. Meter valve box repairs replacements, 7 of them. We had replaced a valve at 34831 Vladimir. We replaced gaskets at 34225 South Valley Drive. We replaced the district valve on East Valley Circle. Replaced the meter on Roadrunner. Replaced gaskets on Eldon's Road. We had a leak. We got called in on a leak. It was on their side on Valley Circle. And then a leak in the meter box that we repaired on Wagon Wheel. Let's see. We then had 4 mainline repairs. One on Cactus Way, one on K Field, Indian Hills, and then Oasis. We upgraded chlorine pumps. We were having issues with the old chlorine pumps. We purchased a new one that handles 240 psi. We were running into issues that ours are rated for 120, but they could not really produce it. We were having constant line breaks and tube breaking, and so we found a chlorine pump that's rated at 240 psi, and we swapped that out. So far it's working well. We repaired the roof at Big John. At Oasis we had material cleanup and just removed some pipe, and then we also replaced 2 chlorine ejector hoses on the old system at Oasis. We installed 3 6-inch manual valves at GOA, replaced a manifold that kept on failing at GOA, and then replaced at GOA well site again replaced a 4-inch entry point for sampling. Let's see, we had 6 rereads. 3 of them were our errors, and we had Sarah give them a credit, and then 3 of them were okay. And then we had 2 final reads. We had water pressure or water issues on Bertha. We had issue with rusty color in the water, and we ended up having to flush part of our collections, our distribution system, to get the water to be clear. We think that was caused by the GOA site crashing and that all those valves that we ended up having to replace.
Oh, the arsenic.
Yep, on the arsenic treatment system, yeah. Customer service, we had to unlock a meter at April Drive, Westbridge, we did a clean out. On Church, we had another issue with the dirty water. They're all kind of tied into that same arsenic failing, the valve failing at GOA. So we flushed the distribution system until we got clear water, and we pulled water samples to make sure that we did not exceed arsenic levels. We had a low pressure condition on Ridgeway, and then at Church we cut down some shrubs, trees to access the meter. There were 97 blue stakes and 98 pink slips. The guys were busy running around. Water samples, so we have not done the quarterly arsenic sample for this quarter, but last quarter got the results in there. It's 2.1 for Big John. At Oasis we're running 1.6, and GOA we're running 1.1, which is way below the MCL of 10. We have the 2 monthly bacteria samples. They are absent, which is good for bacteria. And then we have in the report the annual samples for the TTHMs and AH5s. I did pull those today, so we will be getting new ones for 2023, and those are due in July. Let's see, well stats. The wells stay fairly stable. We are at 19.4 on Big John 1. Oasis, well 1 we're at 21 feet. Oasis 2 we're at 20 feet 11 inches. GOA we're at 19.3. That's GOA 2. And GOA 3 we are at 19 feet. So we've dropped a little bit from the highs of the spring, but not bad for where we're at in the heat that we are dealing with. GOA, so projects, GOA site, replacement of the meter pedestal. The electrician came out and he drilled holes into the block wall. We are contacting APS to have power turned off on Monday, and then the county will be out Tuesday for the inspection. And then we're going to throw a party. Water treatment rehab for arsenic. We received quotes from AdEdge and Canyon State Filtration. I'm currently evaluating them. One has a longer life expectancy, and then also one has a longer life expectancy with the media. So I'm trying to do a 20-year spreadsheet and see what the operating cost would be. And so I'm hoping to get with Dave in the next couple of weeks so we can review that. Big John 3. We are still got a couple issues going on there. Still waiting on the permit from Yavapai County. Back in June 8th, they requested a plot plan, which I sent to them June 9th. And it's still sitting there in their queue waiting for review. I did call them to find out what was going on. Have not heard back from them. But in their voicemail they say do not call twice. So So anyways, I'm gonna give it a little bit before I call back to,
Have Joe call.
yeah, to maybe stop in or something. Somehow we gotta,
That's a good idea.
yeah, somehow we get past that. And then I did talk to KP Ventures. They're one of the well drilling companies. Want them to split out just drilling the hole, putting the pump in, and leaving the controls and everything else for a separate entity. They are fine tuning their bid. They sent one that had everything lumped together. Oh, I'm off topic. I'll wait till the agenda item. Apologize for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that,
Yep,
because I
sorry.
have several questions.
Yep, so I missed that, and I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem.
So that's it.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Jeremy, any questions?
I have none.
How about you, Mr.
Wait a minute, I do have one.
Wait,
Yeah.
When are the samples due for the arsenic for this quarter?
From July to September 30th.
Good luck.
oh, yeah.
So it's a calendar quarter. So every 3 months they're due.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jed?
And that's a rolling average, right, Bob?
And then yes, what I report is not a rolling average. The MCL is a the rolling average, but what I report to you guys in the report is the actual results.
Right, but what you report,
But for compliance, it's a rolling
rolling
average.
average, okay.
Yes.
All right, well, they look great, so, fantastic.
Jed?
Mr. Carter, do you have any questions on the operations report?
No, I have no questions.
Did you want to bring that up on
I
that?
don't know which one it is.
Oh. Dorothy, our treasurer would like to know about the weeds, if we are in need of doing anything with those at our well sites, any of the three.
There was one in particular before, and I don't remember which one.
That's
GOA,
GOA.
yeah.
That's,
So
Yeah,
Joe and
you're right.
Jimmy seem to have a pretty good handle on it.
Okay.
I can't say I've been to all 3 sites in the last week, but I will talk to Joe tomorrow and find out and make sure that we're not lacking on weed control.
All right.
Bob, I have a question on the well booster pump system repair and site maintenance on the Big John new chlorination pump.
Yep.
And that 60-gallon tank.
Yep.
What's the tank size on the other 2 sites?
Currently, we are just using
That's what I thought.
a 6-gallon.
Pony.
And so what we're running into obviously is capacity issues and the strength of the chlorine that we have to run. So we're dialing the pump down, which isn't always good for pumps. They run better if they're running at either 0.5 to 0.75% capacity and not down at 25%. The issues that we've run into with the old chlorine pumps hasn't been burning up pumps. It's burning up the actual tubing that's supposed to hold the pressure. We're just bursting the tubing. You know, because our system, we're injecting into 80 psi with our chlorine system.
And this is the only one that you needed to replace because you could never dial that one in, right? And it was having problems?
Well, this was the hardest one. But instead of buying 3 pumps, we wanted to start with 1 and make sure that it's going to work.
Oh.
Because currently the pumps are working. It just, Joe is having to replace tubing every other week.
So, okay.
A maintenance nightmare. Well, and then he comes in and, you know, we can have a little chlorine, and so he's always battling this chlorine level. which isn't good.
So this may be a good test.
Yep, yep.
And then how expensive is that that you did on Big John? Roughly.
$400.
Oh. Okay. All right. I thought you were gonna scare the board here for a second. Okay. That's not bad.
And I would say I don't even know if I billed you guys. So,
That's even better.
yeah. So,
Can you tell me why? Can you enlighten the board what the majority of these 97 blue stakes encompasses? What, they can't all be different. They've got to be related to a commonality here, I would think.
I will have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
'Cause, yeah.
Is it the freeway?
Do you know, Sarah? Do you,
It's a lot
it's
of
still
freeway.
freeway stuff? Okay.
So it would be the biggest one of the 97 then. Wow.
Yeah.
And these pink slips, have you ever seen it 98 before?
I think that's a new record.
Wrong kind of record we're
Right.
trying to do. We gotta get this, Angel program in place.
Well, those are the ones that are mailed, so typically those get quite significantly less before Joe or, the operations has to even deliver the last
Launch
one.
slip.
And that
Yeah.
one's probably gonna be under, maybe around 10. When they get the pink slip in the mail, typically
About 10.
payments come in.
Just I've never seen 98
No,
pink
I
slip,
know.
nowhere near it. Okay. That's all I had. Thank you, Bob. I'll make a motion to approve the operation management report for the period of May 19th through July 22, 2023. May I have a second?
I second that.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. That's gonna go back to Bob. That's okay. Agenda item 8, the dog track potential development. Bob, would you, bring us up to speed on what we know about this potential development at the dog track?
Yes. So I contacted the listing realtor, Bryce. I do not recall Bryce's last name. Because they had reached out to us that they have a potential buyer. I informed him that I would need an engineering report to know what his demand, so that I could figure out what our supply needs to be, distribution, pumps, and all that good stuff. He was going to get with the person of interest and have them write a letter to the board and to me, I guess, requesting information. So at this point, it sounds like there's a potential buyer, but we haven't been requested to give any information to anybody on, what kind of water supply we have, or would we have any issues, what kind of costs would it be to connect into the system. Don't have any of that. And so, like I said, what I told him is, we need to start with the engineering report, and then we can go from there and figure out what we need to do.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Question, on the engineering report, is it gonna outline what this potential development looks like? Number of units, what zoning it is? Are they having to get a variance on the zoning? Is it residential, is it commercial?
So the engineering report that I was concerned about is what their water demand's going to be. And so that's kind of what we focused on. So that I could then size pumps and piping so that we know how to deliver water to them. So I don't know on the development side of it, you know, how many houses or anything like that.
But you think it's residential?
Yes.
Well, you and I both know who the potential buyer is, and I think the onus is on them to tell us what kind of development they have before we tell them what we're looking at. We're flying blind.
Right,
I mean,
right.
the district can't put anything together until they know what their
Yep.
plans are.
Yep. And that's why I requested, you know, at least told the realtor, he's gonna talk to the potential owner and go, "Hey, they need an engineering study. Like, they can't start until they know they're gonna need, 50,000 gallons or, 10 gallons. I don't, just don't know.
Or $300.
But,
Well, that's a big piece of property. As
Yeah,
I
yeah.
recall.
yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No board action is required on that. Agenda item number 9 is the online bill pay. And you have Jeremy,
Yes.
you have the floor.
So I've been looking into a few different online bill pay options and also comparing them to other districts. And there's 2 of them that I'm gonna indulge in a little further. One of them
Could you
being,
please speak up? I'm sorry.
yeah. So I've been looking into online bill pay options, and I've been researching throughout other districts throughout the county, and have now narrowed it down to 2 out of approximately 9. And so I'll be looking a little bit further into those. Hopefully we'll have online bill pay soon. Hopefully. So yeah. There's a couple more things I gotta look into with these 2. So I just wanna make sure that we have any type of user fees, adjustments, costs, plus make sure that it's transactions and things that kinda talk with the bank so everybody's payment goes to their account versus just paying some random account and their account's not getting paid, you know what I mean? So we just gotta make sure we have all our ducks in a row, but definitely moving in that direction. Yep.
And see how it's gonna interface with our website. But I can
Absolutely.
talk to you about that. So you should be ready to report to the board in September, correct?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. No board action is required on that either. Agenda item 10 is the new well construction for Big John number 3 update. That's Bob. Bob, would you mind? Update?
Yep. So we're trying to work with KP Ventures. They're one of the companies, actually, working with them to kind of redo their quote. They sent in a quote that encompasses all of the work. And we're thinking we probably get better value if we piecemeal it together. So in looking at their quote, they've kind of lumped some of the construction together. So like, and I don't know enough about how they put it together, whether I can just go, okay, this is drilling services and this is installation of electrical and plumbing. And so I've asked them to go through and clean that up so I can understand it better, so that I can present it to the board. Talked to them today. They're hoping, within a week they can get us a quote. One of the issues that we ran into was we've had a check issue with them for payment for the.
Oh, yeah.
And so they haven't really been happy to work with us because they've been waiting. They thought it was our issue, but they've been waiting for payment from the May work that they did. And there's been a couple checks that had issues. Obviously, you know about that. So we had stopped payments. We had to reissue checks. But they weren't willing to go forward until we had that cleared up. And it looks like that is now cleared up, so we should be able to get a quote from them and be able to move forward again. And it was nothing on our side. I did send them, the check that Sarah issued, you signed. I was like, I don't know, like 3 days after we got the invoice, and it just got lost in the mail. And they just didn't follow up with us. So I finally did get an email. I got an email from them saying, "Hey, what happened to payment on this?" I sent them the check that Sarah had sent them, and then heard nothing from them. I'm like, "Oh, okay, so they must have cleared it up." And then a week and a half later, I hear, "Well, we never got our check." I'm like, "Well, here's a copy of it. Why didn't you guys get back to us?" So there's been some issues that we're just working through, but it's a company that Joe has worked with in the past. They were very responsive when we needed them down here to get the Oasis back up and running.
Yeah,
So,
pumps pulled and
Yep,
reset,
yep. They
that kind of
were,
thing.
yes, yep. So we would like to build a relationship with them because they were responsive and got us back up within a week. So, yep, it's moving, just slow.
They know they have criteria to meet, correct?
Yes. And so
And
that
they're
was,
bidding it that way, correct?
yep. And so that was part of the issue. They put a quote together based on what we thought we were going to need. But what was approved by WIFA was based on the engineer specs. So they needed to requote it based on the engineer specs. And so that's what we're working on cleaning up.
Yeah, definitely gotta be US Steel, fair
Yep.
labor wages.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, thanks for the update,
Mhm.
Bob. No board action required on agenda 10 either. Agenda item 11, management contracts review and board action. Actually, we have 11A, 11B, and 11C. Sarah, did you want to cover this? Since you're,
Okay, well, do you wanna do the A first?
yes, let's do it in order, if we may. Agenda item 11A. Oh,
Oh.
I thought you were gonna cover
Okay,
that.
sure. All right, when management contracts were approved February 22, 2022, the extension was approved, and unfortunately though, the execution of the contract was never done inadvertently. So what we have on the agenda for this is to sign retroactively for the management contracts of 2022 to 2023.
That expires today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Dorothy, you're familiar with this. You know, do you have any questions on this?
No.
Okay. Jeremy? Questions?
No. Do not have any questions on this.
Could you guys speak up, please? I'm sorry.
No,
It's kind of hard to hear.
I do not have any questions on this.
Okay, thank you.
So this has already
Jim.
happened.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jed? Questions?
No questions.
Okay. Sarah, I went back to my 2017 file, thinking to myself, since I would have been probably the last signer on it, thinking to myself that it could have been in my file, not.
No, this is the 22.
No,
This is from February
Oh, I'm sorry.
2022.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant, 22. I got 17 on something else,
Yeah.
but I won't bring that up today. I don't have it in the file. And I don't know if this was misfiled, and honestly, I don't remember if I signed it.
We did not. We did not.
Okay, so we're sure that didn't happen, okay.
I'm positive.
All right, 11A, I'll make a motion to approve signing retroactively the contract from July 26th of 2021 wait a minute, extended to 2022, alternative, with the 1-year extension to 7/25/2023. On the office management, and 2027 on the operations in field contract, which was a 5-year.
With
Contract.
1-year increment review.
Yeah, it's reviewed 1 year incrementally, which I'm gonna bring up on this, this here. I'll make that motion. May I have a second?
Well, what's the amount that we're holding?
Oh, this right here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's, the office portion, which is, public record, is $8,066, and the, field operations portion is $12,184.
But that's a 5-year.
That one is through 2027. Yes, that's a 5-year, 4 more years from today.
Alright. So that's the same amount as had been previous.
Yeah, oh yeah, nothing's changed price-wise at all. It's all the same.
Well, just like it says the office management, was 7,916 and was increased 150 to equal the 8,066. Likewise, for the field operation, it had been 9,184 and was increased to 12,184.
Right.
Okay.
And it was approved by board action on February 22nd, 2022. Okay, I have a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
I second that one.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds. All in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion carries unanimous. That was 11A. Sarah, you want to recap 11B for us?
11.
B?
What did I put on your papers there? Oh, for the office.
Oh.
So the office,
This was the split.
this would be for beginning July of this year, 2023, through,
Could you please speak up, sir? Thank you.
this is for the period from July 26, 2023 to 2024. And as much as I was looking forward to retiring, I had talked to Bob and others about this transition that we were wanting to do between American Country Homes and with Western Technology. I have met with his personnel and I am quite impressed with them, but under the circumstances with issues that have been going on, I just don't think it would be fair to put brand new people into the office and handle the things that need to be handled. Next on the agenda is the CPA issues, and that is one thing that in particular I don't feel leaving with that being held over my head that something terrible has happened. We have had 21 years of audits with absolutely no issues, and yet there's a lot being said about mismanagement and so forth. And it's just not the case. It was not anything the district did that prevented us from getting the audit done when we had the engagement letter with the auditor that we had had for years and years. So since we met with somebody, I'm hoping that that gets resolved, that we can start the audits, which would be for 21, 22, and 23, so that way I will be here to be able to go through all of that, and that is why I am asking for the extension on my contract so that it can be resolved.
Okay.
And like I said, I believe the people that Bob has to come in, I was very impressed with them. I think it will work, but I just think it would be better if it was a much smoother transition. And I think you're in agreement with that, right?
That's fine with me.
you're comfortable with.
Yep.
You're comfortable with that.
So the cost on this one is
Cost,
8,000.
Yeah, there's no increase.
no increase, so it's 8,066. Okay? And 11B, Sarah, correct me if I am wrong, thank you very much for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, 11B and 11C are just splitting the management
Yes,
contracts
yes,
between the
yeah.
two entities, which was never done before.
Right. Yeah,
Perfect. Which we needed that done until it's all, if it ever gets under one entity. Which it probably will.
Well, that's what we've always been striving for.
Yeah,
So.
okay. Okay, so that is through 7/25 of 2024.
Yes.
Any questions, Jed?
No, I have no questions.
Jeremy?
No questions.
So it's the same thing, basically.
Well, Sarah's and Bob has already, I guess, confided in me. We kinda already did an annual review.
Yes.
We can do it again if you would like.
Nope, I'm content with what we have going right now.
So you're
It's
comfortable with
working.
keeping the amount the same, nothing changes there? So effectively, since I've looked at this goes through 27. And I assume you have, and Dorothy, you have, the pricing is all of the same. Make one motion to approve,
Well, each one separate.
each one separate, one motion to approve agenda item 11B, which is the office management contract. I will make that motion. May I have a second? Through July 25th of 2024 at the same rate. May I have a second?
I second.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds. All in favor say aye.
Alright.
Alright, motion carries unanimously. Agenda item 11C is the operations side of it with Western Environmental Technologies. That runs through 2027 with incremental yearly annual reviews. And that base rate is going to stay at the $12,184 per month. 24/7, 365. May I have a motion to approve that contract for the 4 remaining years at the current rate of $12,184 with annual incremental reviews.
I make a motion to approve the operation field management contract with Environmental Technologies.
And I'll second that.
Jeremy Bruckner so moves, Dorothy Moore seconds, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously.
Okay.
Let's see. Agenda item 12, the CPA auditor information and board discussion, possible action. Which one of you two ladies is, Sarah, are you discussing this?
I'm fine.
Sure, okay, that'd be great.
Okay. As reported previously, there had been a meeting scheduled. It was with Kay Green, was her last name. And it was with the Audit and Accounting Solutions LLC. They are located up in Prescott. We were certainly impressed with their firm. They have taken over a number of districts. When Alex Cohan had merged and formed a partnership, apparently we were not the only ones that were left hanging. And so she actually appreciated the information we had supplied as to, how it all transpired. But anyway, she certainly they have credentials that we were pleased with. They did give us a proposal, and the next step, if the board approves the cost that they are proposing to us, would be to get the engagement letter, and that is when we would be able to begin. So for the 3 years, there's an initial setup fee of $2,500, and then it would be $10,000 for each year's audit. The last one that Alex had done, I believe it had been $6,800 for the audit. So it's a little bit higher, but we actually were kind of been prepared for it to be a whole lot more. So the audit fee of $10,000 isn't really out of line, we don't think. But anyway, that was our meeting, and we certainly did have a good impression of them, and with their credentials. They actually, years ago, she mentioned they had done the audits for the Block Canyon Fire Department. So that was another reference that she had given us.
And some special water districts, I understand.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, yeah, and ones that had been Alex's customers.
Yeah. So they know the ropes. They know their way around special districts, which is important.
Yeah, and they followed through, which was a great thing, since how the other people didn't.
It was.
Very professional.
It was 6,800 was the last one I recall from Alex going, and I was braced for what I have been told by others that it was 20 to 22,000
Yeah. So
for an audit. So when we got this back, I was pleasantly surprised. Questions, Jed?
I just had a question about the annual $10,000 fee. Is that a fixed rate, or is that will that be is that a fixed rate?
It is. Yes,
Okay.
it is.
but it's right now, it's the 21, 22, and 23 that we
Right.
needed to get done to get us current.
Okay, that was my only question.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Dorothy?
No, I was there.
I don't. So you still might have a question.
No.
Jeremy?
No, I don't.
Time, okay. I have one. Time frame to complete the audits. Do we have
I don't.
any inkling from them? How many
I'm
months?
gonna take each one, will probably be maybe 2 months.
So we give them 3
That would be my
months.
guesstimate.
Okay, so
Just, as far as how long it usually took Alex.
I'll call and double check on
but definitely it should all be wrapped up within 12 months.
Oh,
I would
for
think.
sure, for sure.
Okay. All right. Any objections from the board?
Well, I called a lot of places and nobody was doing audits anymore. So when I happened to find this one online and they were interested and had, like you say, had done a lot of different water districts, and they wanted to meet with us, that was very encouraging. And so she was very professional and we felt very good about it. So.
Great.
It wasn't easy finding someone.
No, I know. I had it. I was checking them out. You were lucky you found this organization.
Yeah.
Well, if no objections, then I think we need to move on the audits. I'll make a motion to approve SC Audit and Accounting Solutions for the 3 years at a total cost of $10,000 audit fee per year, and with an initial $2,500 setup fee.
$42,500.
We have a second?
second it.
Jeremy Bruckner seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimously. That brings us to agenda item 13, public call.
I just real quickly want to say,
Uh,
sorry,
Let me just, I didn't mean to cut you off like that. Let me just remind everybody, I have the floor until I yield it, so just let me know.
Hold your hand up or something.
Okay, Elaine Clayton.
I just want to make it known, that I am questioning the backdating of a contract, and also I'm questioning the board, having discussions outside of an executive meeting or outside of a board meeting, talking about contracts and such that, that would not fall into an appropriate discussion if they've been discussing it outside, personal communications between them. And so I just want to make sure that that's clear and duly noted.
Gonna ask her what she's talking about.
Would you please?
No, you.
Oh, sure, I will. I can assure you that, are you talking about just the backdating of contracts? Is what your
The backdating
comment
of
was
the
about?
contract I'm opposed to, and I'm also very concerned that discussions were taking place about the management and field contracts outside the realm of required board meetings. Boards are not supposed to be discussing such matters outside of an executive meeting, or outside of official capacity. That would be emailing each other, making phone calls, texting, having personal private conversations about contract matters. And it just seems to me that I'm suspicious that that occurred, and I just want to make it known.
Oh, okay. I follow you. Thank you very much, Elaine. So the last thing you said is you are suspicious it
Yes.
has occurred. I can assure you it has not occurred on this contract issue
And
at all.
forgive me if I don't believe you.
I'm sorry?
I said forgive me if I don't believe you.
Oh, that's okay. I'm used to it.
Okay.
No, in fact, when was the first time you saw these contracts that we're gonna retroactively sign?
Who are you talking to?
Jeremy, please.
Well, let's see, we kind of.
The first time you saw them.
First time I seen him, last meeting? Shortly after, was it after last meeting? When we were discussing something? I don't know, there's been a whole lot go over the last 2 months, so.
Yes, I know. Okay.
I didn't see him before we got the package.
Sarah alerted me to this, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago about this issue. And as far as I know, you and I are the only ones that have talked about this. But even if you had talked to her about it, she hasn't talked to me
You meant
about it.
on extension of the contracts?
Yes.
As far as, what, budget stuff went over a few months ago? So it was like a few months ago, there was talk about changing the contract stuff, but not extension of contracts, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you agree with me that this is all new to you at this meeting?
Extension of contracts is.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so, no. Anyway, I know that doesn't smooth anything over in your mind, but Greg Watts, please, you have the floor, sir.
These meetings are scheduled for 60 minutes, and we're going a little over right now, but since call to the public, it's the end of the meetings, and now that we have a lot more public participation
Yeah, and
in the meetings,
Right.
I sent you 2 emails. The first was July 6th, and I was asking you to put on the agenda for this meeting for the board to look at extending them an additional 30 minutes so the public has time to ask their questions and concerns and not have the clock run us out. And the meetings are 10 meetings a year, an hour each meeting, and if we extend them an extra 30 minutes, not to say they're going to go 30 minutes if people don't have questions, but it's only an additional 5 hours for the whole year for the owner users to have a say. And that's what I would like. I was hoping it'd be on the agenda now because I thought you said you had to do it at least a week in advance. The first time I sent you an email was July 6th. I didn't get a response, and then I sent one last week on Tuesday. I didn't get a response, and I was hoping it'd be on the agenda, so since it wasn't, maybe you can put it on the agenda for the September meeting, so the board can look at going into having an additional 30 minutes, so we can have our questions and answers, because our time's important just like yours. That's my comment.
I follow you, and
Okay.
if you phrased I do recall the email where you said, I really think it should be that. I did not take that as you wanting it on the agenda itself. But either way, I did not respond to you, so for that I apologize. There's another individual from the public that had 3 items that they wanted on the agenda, and another one that also the same situation, that I informed both of them, I don't know, weeks ago, that both July and September are just kind of back to back to back. The chair has the right to extend the meeting. We're beyond it. I wasn't anticipating this many people here. I'm going to hold it open for a while longer, but I'm also very hesitant. I don't want to. The preparations that go into these meetings, you see an hour or an hour and 15 or an hour and 30 minutes. But it takes a lot of preparation to be prepared for these meetings as well. From everybody sitting at this table, at the board table and the management table. So I respect the public's time as well, but I am not advocating for 90-minute meetings. I don't know of any special districts that have 90-minute or 2-hour meetings. I know of plenty of school districts that have 2-hour meetings, but then they get screamed at every meeting. So,
Can I comment further on that?
on that thought,
Yeah.
sure.
One of the reasons we're getting more public participation is because of the freeway construction going on with all the water that's being taken from the aquifer from Tony Chandler's well.
Right.
And as time goes on, if our water does diminish more and everything else, you're probably going to get more people, because as soon as people, if it gets to that point to where we have to do extra conserving our water, and everything we conserve, it's more water that Tony Chandler can sell. And so, if that would be the case. So anyway, I think we're going to get more people coming, and that's why I think
Great.
we need to have an extra 30 minutes.
I love the more people. It's almost 10 after right now, and the meeting is still open because of the public that is here. Let me respond to that. I have repeatedly told 3 people in the audience that the gentleman that you referenced does not sell this water, and that is a fact. But all 3 of them, yourself included, keep claiming that he is selling water. He does not sell the water. And I know that for a fact.
Then how does it get removed without some kind of a financial something?
Well, maybe there is, Greg, but I'm telling you, if they pull 1 million gallons or 1.6 million gallons, or 866,000, he's not paid for that water.
Who is? It's not free.
It's free.
It's a private well.
It's a private well.
Part of the place.
So
Now, maybe there is some, I see you, maybe there is some, but I confronted him and said, do you sell this water? He goes, that's going around. I said, well, I'd like to dispel it. He goes, I could care less what they think. I am not selling this water. I said, what's your deal? He told me the deal. I'm not repeating the deal. Why don't you call him? Call Tony. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Dave, can we go on to board issues? Because Tony's selling water is not
Well,
a
this
board
is a
issue.
water issue. This is a water issue, and they're also very concerned about it affecting our wells. I've also told the same 3 people that it is not affecting our wells, Bob. So, Tina, please.
Here's a legitimate question, Bob.
Okay.
So this potential development that they're looking at Maggie Line.
Yep.
How well is this community or this water district prepared to put in 200 or 300 meters over there. Is the board allowed to reject that and say, hey, we can't do it? And if you were to approve that, who pays for that? Does the developer pay for all that infrastructure to go in? And are they paying for wells that go into the Black Canyon Water District that's owned by the Black Canyon Water District? Or is this one of those deals where you put in the well and we help fund it and maintain it for you while you have whatever go on?
The developer covers the cost. If we needed another water storage tank to supply that development, the developer would have to pay for it.
At what point do you say we cannot, we can't take on something that, let's say they wanted to put in a 300-room hotel. Would the Black Canyon City Water District say, yeah, sure, we can do that?
It has to be analyzed with the engineers.
That's why.
So that's why I asked for the
You gotta have the report.
engineer report.
But you
I
know
can't-
how much water you have, so you have an idea of what you can and cannot handle.
If I may elaborate just a little bit on what she's trying to say, instead of beating around the bush, you know it's residential or commercial. It's a commercial property. Anticipate commercial zoning. Can you stand 400 residential meters tomorrow to be starting to install? Not that property, just 400 more new ones on the strain of the system at this stage. I think is what she's trying to say.
So with the capital influx from a developer,
It's a yes or no.
I don't
You've
care
got the
about.
stats of your equipment, how it runs each month, yearly usage. Can you take that
But-
much more
Water.
on your equipment? That I think is what you'd like to know.
Or can the aquifer take that much more?
so
Or are you
Nobody
looking
knows
at
on that.
dollars?
So nobody knows. So what, back to the when we were doing highway
Hypothetical.
construction, we went to the state and we asked them to do a hydrology study of the aquifer so that we knew what the water supply was. Nobody has that information. To answer your question though, we wouldn't connect another 400 homes without a capital influx. If they're not bringing anything to the table, then they're not going to be connected. Does that make sense?
Not really,
Not
it doesn't. Because you're talking about
Two apples and oranges.
2 people living in a house or a family of 9. It's the strain or the consumption or use that it's going to draw if that's added to the existing system. It's not all the other in between.
Well, but it might be another well field to the north that probably does not impact the the hydrology of it, that doesn't impact GOA or the Oasis well sites.
We can't do
So-
anything without the engineers.
Yeah,
report.
I
Start
really
with
need the
what
engineers,
developed it.
but they're not going to. They're not going to connect. Well, it'll be my recommendation that they do not connect without a capital influx to the system, and everybody approve it.
Okay, Eva Burst.
Yes, Chair, I would like for you to ask that there be no side conversations, because it makes it difficult to hear what's being discussed.
Oh, you're having problems here?
Yeah, you know, when
Oh,
there's
okay.
cross conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. Yes.
Okay, so on this topic of this new potential development, my ask is that we keep the community informed of anything because we need to be in front of it for those who may oppose it, like a lot of us weren't with this whole Rock Springs situation. As far as what the county's doing, as far as having the opportunity to get to the county meetings, to voice our opinions, to voice our concerns. And please, if you could help inform the community of the desire, because that's the only chance the residents will have. You know, I know engineering's totally involved. I get it, and it could totally collapse, and they have to pass all this. But we missed out on a huge opportunity to voice concerns in 2011 regarding Rock Springs. That's when that went down, and nobody knew it because nobody knew that that was happening back then. And when the planning and zoning approved it, I just asked that you guys help keep us informed so that we can go participate, voice our concerns, and what may or may not transpire. But I don't know, like, you know, we none of us were, well, most of us were not, for the whole Rock Springs thing. I don't see this being any different for the community. We didn't want a hotel being built, because all we've heard, water, 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 water. And, yes, you can put it in and there can be capital funds to put it in, but you've got to maintain that, and you've got to maintain that going forward. And the cost will go up. Prices will go up. And that means the cost will go up to us, as users, because we will have to help pay for that infrastructure to maintain it. So I just think, help us be informed of that.
Bob and I learned about this about 2 weeks ago. That's why it's on
I
this
have
agenda.
not. I am shocked. I've been a long-time resident, and I am shocked. I didn't think anything could ever happen over there.
Me neither.
And it might not.
What,
Yeah, and it may not.
I think, that mean?
Wait,
Elaine Clayton.
So I also want to make a statement that I think that's very important for all of us to get together and really look at what it's going to take to become part of an AMA so that we know our water source is protected, and to also get the help of RCAP, Rural Community Association Partnership, in to help us
I gotta interrupt.
at our structure.
I gotta interrupt you here. Okay, let's stick on the
subject.
the water district business,
it
which
is
has
water
nothing to do
district.
with an AMA.
Point made.
Anybody else?
And I just have one other point.
Go ahead.
Back to the concern about retroactiving a contract. If it was approved, a board approval that took place back in February of 2022, I think if people could, reference that, because if I understood correctly, board did approve it at that meeting.
Right.
Yes, the paperwork didn't get done, contract didn't get, but if it was literally, if you recorded it, or if it was documented, and you could provide that maybe, or reference, or tell people where to go, it might help, ease some concern. Because, when you hear that, you do get, hey, suspicious. But if it's documented in the board meeting back then,
Yeah.
even though the paperwork didn't get done, it's documented, and
Appreciate
it was approved.
It was approved.
Yeah. So, but maybe that could help people, ease their concern.
Well, I've been on the board for 9 years, and I've never had a contract get by me before. This one apparently did. Sarah's been involved for going on 23 years, and have you had any others than this one that you can recall?
I cannot.
So this is it.
Yeah.
And I signed all the contracts.
Yeah.
At least
No,
for the last 9
I
years.
have been in that position, and
For all but one.
unfortunately, a board I sit on, and I have been in that position, and it came down to a legal matter, and basically it went back to, it was documented in the board minutes, which were recorded, documented, approved the next board meeting, and there was as long as that happened, unfortunately it didn't happen, but as long as that happened, that was okay.
Thank you.
Can
Mr.
you-
Strezak.
Thank you. Can you explain to us why hundreds of thousands of dollars of contracts are not notarized? Or have they been
It's not
notarized in the
required.
past? Or
It's not required. You want to chime in on that at all, Sarah? No, it's not required.
should it be maybe, since apparently you can't get a contract notarized without a signature and a date?
Right.
So would it be a good idea perhaps to have them notarized in the future?
To have the tail wag the dog, it's one time in 23 years. It
It's
takes
a
too much
major-
time of getting everybody.
How do adults
Well,
overlook this? How do adults that know that the
We're
most
done with
important
that,
part of a contract
Tom, no, I
is the
used to
signature?
address,
Dorothy,
thank you.
you're welcome.
I used to be a notary. All you're doing is saying, I saw their identification and that's who these people are. It doesn't make it a legal paper or anything. It says, I saw these people, I saw their ID, that's all.
Do you make sure there's a signature and a date? And that those
But
people
you have
show
to take
ID?
it, you have to
That those
take,
are the people that signed it?
Okay, we're done with we're done with that. It's not required. If I am incorrect,
No, it's not
point
required,
it out.
and you're not interested as well.
I don't want the tail wagging the dog, Tom.
In quality.
Come
For
on,
the
man.
order users.
The person still has to take the paper to the notary, so that doesn't mean a thing.
Then it just
Okay,
gets
so a
more
notary,
chance
so
for me.
if I sell a $500
This is
trailer-
where I normally convene the meeting unless you're gonna calm down, Tom.
Well,
We're done with that topic.
if I sell a $500 trailer, I have to get it notarized.
Help me out here.
But you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in
Tom,
contracts.
Tom!
Contracts, that's not a big deal.
Well, I'm not gonna go through this with you anymore. This is your last chance. Can you please be still for a second so somebody else can ask a question?
You cut me off, fine.
It was mid-trailer talk, I did.
I definitely don't wanna.
I know why you did that, and I got trapped. So, any other questions on water board? Jeremy, do you have a comment? Meeting's adjourned. Our next board meeting is September 26th, same time, same location. There is no meeting in August. The time is 6:23 p.m.
If somebody has something they want to talk about at a meeting, should they call in or email you or something?
I gotta give this
So
back
they're,
to.
They do all the time.
okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Hang in there, everybody. And that's the thing, we gotta show
So
up.
those people in, we've had the usual talkers, but nobody else said anything. That's weird.
I'd just like to say to everyone here, you know, Supervisor Gregory's having a big meeting on the 14th. And that's the place to go to try to talk about AMAs and getting research done on the aquifer, et cetera. And I know there's an effort to bring Selena Bliss, who's the representative. There's an effort to bring someone from ADWR who talks about, who can talk about AMA stuff. And the other thing is that the planning and zoning minutes of all their meetings are online. You can look at the agendas, see what the issues are they're dealing with, so you can become informed.
Pleased to meet you.
But I mean, you make it.
Yeah, he did. Thanks for sharing.
I was gonna say something.
I did shut it down, so that's close.